Hello and welcome to Beebe Outdoors. So this one's going to be a little bit of a different week, kind of more of an update week. We ended up going out shooting where we went and shot the 152 and had a little bit of an electrical problem. So when we got out there, we first started shooting. This was the following weekend. We ended up getting a little bit of rain and everything. All of our crystal clear water decided to absolutely go. And with that, we ended up hitting one of the very few stumps that I had inside the lake and ended up running into a little bit of electrical problem. So we ended up with 4 fish, and that kind of sucks. We were only out on the water for half hour, if that. But we'll roll the clips real fast. Luckily, I was able to bring it home the following day, work on it a little bit, and, so on and so forth. A couple days later, got everything fixed out. End up being what happened is when we hit it, I thought that we blew a board, which I was absolutely terrified that I blew the board. But what ended up happening that the brushes down at the bottom, ended up one of them popped out a little bit. So when I took out the bottom housing and everything, threw it back together, everything ran fine. It's ran great ever since. So luckily that's the only mistake that happened. I'm not not too fond of blowing boards. Those get expensive when they blow a handful of times. So end up putting the breaker through everything. Everything worked out fine last trip. End up doing good. So as of today, which is April 29th, looking at, I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday nights, which is my Thursday, Friday off. Busy this weekend, but Wednesday night is 75 degrees Wednesday night. So that should give us our first really big push on a lot of really big commons. They're not going to be spawning yet, but all the big females are going to be ready to get there to that spawn. Usually it's kind of like deer when we get into the pre-rut. You get all them bucks that are moving around, doing whatever they need to do, and after that, once they start rutting, they lock down. Carp are, the exact opposite in sex, but the exact same thing. Once them big females come in, they'll keep coming in. Well, once they start actually officially spawning, it's hard to find as many big females as what you can pre-spawn. So hopefully Wednesday, it's the first real 70-something degree day, should do really good. The unfortunate part is, being that it's a Wednesday night, and I guess it's kind of a good thing too, is that it's going to be just me. So hopefully everything goes well. Still hoping for that 300 fish night, but we'll see what happens. Another thing is that I know that my busy season at work is about to pick up. So what I ended up doing was I ended up figuring everything out, and I got my podcast system hooked up, ready to go. I'm going to end up posting podcasts, trying to get a little bit of the video podcasts into the channel. What might happen right off the bat is we might do an audio-only podcast, but what's cool about it is I'm not going to have to force out content with the audio podcast or with the podcast in general. I'm not going to have to force out content, so I'm hoping I can bring, more entertaining podcasts, I guess, each and every single time I do one, instead of having a kind of a podcast. So hopefully everything goes well, but I just want everybody to know that, hey, still got a little bit of bow fishing going on, but I still wanted to let you guys know I got my 4 fish, add it to the count total, and didn't want it to be, hey, he jumped numbers from this week to next week. Next week, we ended up going back out and, 4 or 5 hours, ended up shooting 100 and 140, 150 fish, somewhere in there. So next week will be pretty exciting, but this week's going to be a little bit dull. Just want to give you guys a little bit of update, everything going on, and we're about to run into May. We're about to run into spawn, so there's going to be a bunch of fish in the shallows, and I'm getting ready for it. So hope you guys are too. See you next time.